Well, I'm going to do the intro because Toby's supposed to be driving. It
All right.
is Tuesday, and we're on our way to the Minerals Museum at New Mexico Tech. And it snowed last night, so you may be seeing snow on the mountains around us. It's a little cold, but it's not as cold as it could be. I talked to my kids yesterday, and they're in Vermont, so it could be a lot colder. And this morning I found an app at the App Store that was free. It's put out by the University of Wisconsin and the Department of Geology, National Department. So it was a free app, already paid for by the government. And it's called Rocked, R-O-C-K-D. And I checked that out, and Toby liked it so much that he downloaded it as well. And we recommend it. It's a free app. Check it out online, and it gives you a lot of information about what's around you. So it tells you the paleontology years, the elevation, all the things that are around you, and gives you a lot of information. It's really good stuff. So check that out if you haven't looked at it yet. If you're on a day trip, no matter where you are, it should help you out, especially if you're in the United States. Then we're hoping to see some really good mineral exhibits and specimens at the museum. Don't know what else we'll do today. It kind of depends on the weather. There's a chance of rain this afternoon. If it looks okay, we're going to give it a try. We'll go towards Magdalena and see about maybe getting some pay dirt for ourselves. If it's too cold, we may just get some lunch and head home to kind of round out the day. So what do you think?
It's going to depend on the weather, of course. If it's cold already, it's windy already, whether or not we get rain and or snow will make the difference, because the area that we're going into is unpaved roads and sandy wash. So it really depends. But I'm looking forward to our visit to the Minerals Museum. I've never been there before, but I love geology, and I think seeing all these specimens from literally all over the United States, it is a highly regarded museum, and they have their own bookstore. And they also have specimens for sale, so we might buy something that strikes our fancy, if you will. But looking forward to it. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we do, and of course we'll give you our recommendation as to whether you should make the drive or not.
Well, we made it to the museum. It's very nice out front, even in the winter. It's got benches and rocks and a little pond. It's very nicely...
And the pond's in motion. The waterfall.
Landscaped. And the museum is behind us. We have our own visitor parking spots, which is cool. It's not exactly like on the campus like I was thinking. It's really close to the campus. So it has its own parking lot, and you don't have to worry about parking, and it's free parking. So very nice, whenever I would go to a big university, then there's so many buildings, it's hard to find your way around. Mm-hmm. New Mexico Tech is a small university. It's very compact, and this one's not even on that compact campus. It's a separate building, so that made it easy. So I guess we'll get out and take some pictures and go inside and look around.
All right.
So I'm in the car. We're still here in the parking lot because Toby had to take some pictures. And we'll be going inside in a minute. Hopefully they're open because we got here right at noon. These things happen. And it's cold out there, so I'm staying in the truck until he's ready to go inside. He's playing with the camera right now, so... Yeah, he's over there. See? I don't know if you can see him. Anyway, I'll go inside in a minute.
Wow. So it looks like,
I think she just locked the door, so.
pardon?
I think she just locked the door. Must go to lunch. Yep, I'm going to lunch. Or they're just
Hi.
finishing lunch.
So that's the museum side, which we're going into now. And then this is the bookstore side. All right. So then what we're going to do is give you kind of a view before we actually go into the museum of what's on the outside. They have this beautiful look at mining in New Mexico and some of the tools that are used by miners and geologists. Shelley and I just watched a video that presented kind of their purpose, their goals, their objectives of the Minerals Museum, but in the context of the fact that we're at New Mexico Tech University, and you know, to them this is a science, and their charter is to further the science in order to promote New Mexico, not only in terms of rock hounding, but in terms of prospecting and mining. So, all right.
So that's a hallway with like classrooms, but there are some maps on the wall. I don't know if you're interested in looking at those.
In the hallway?
Yeah.
Let's go look. We have time. So both the museum and the bookstore are staffed by students here at New Mexico Tech.
Over here.
Oh. So I recognize this one. That's the geologic map. You can actually get that at the BLM offices. So I saw a whole case full of maps that we'll invest in. Oh, this is the one that I've seen. And then this is the reverse, where they explain exactly what all the colors represent.
I think they're having a class over here. I can hear them talking.
Yeah. So let's go in. I don't know if there's an organized way to do this. I know that the cases are broken up or divided into areas of interest. So it looks like there's a sign on the front. The bookstore, as I said, is over there. So we'll come back to the bookstore.
Kind of bringing some light during the day, kind of a ceiling.
So this building was built in 2016, did they say?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't.
You want to sign the guest book for us?
Hmm?
You want to sign the guest book? Look at this huge specimen of
Albuquerque,
pyrite.
March 17th through 19th.
Yeah, we're going to go to that one too. There's a bunch of gem shows that are happening over the next couple of months. One of them is in Albuquerque. Now, they do offer a service here, but it's by appointment.
What's today, the 7th
And today is the
or 8th?
7th. What do we miss?
I'm just writing the date. Today's the 8th, 7th.
7th. So this is the case with specimens that you can purchase. So maybe we'll take one of these samples home with us. Oh, look, there's an arrowhead. Oh, but it's modern. That means it's made, it's handmade in India.
Oh, what is that? With a pretty ornament.
So they're very reasonable priced. Shark's tooth.
Oh, some pretty pyrite.
So I set a budget for us of around $200, so we'll try to stick with that for now. What do we have here? Now, more specimens for sale.
Oh, I got the brochure for the Mineral Museum there.
Pardon?
Got the brochure for the Mineral Museum.
Look at that pyrite right there. Mm-hmm. Good little chunk of pyrite. So the first thing we want to see is, well, Coronado's treasure chest.
They're raising money for a new display case for that.
All right, we'll have to make a contribution. So that explains the displays. Take one of those, okay. So again, these are all specimens for sale. We'll look through them. I'd like to get that big chunk of pyrite unless there's something else. There's a beautiful small geode down there.
I gotta put my glasses on, I think, to read all these things.
Pardon me?
I gotta put my glasses on so I can read all these
Oh, okay.
things. Lots of reading to do.
Let's see if I can look at this at the same time I'm walking you guys through this. Let me get my bearings here. Oh, well, this one says these are the minerals of New Mexico. So this isn't exactly a close-up camera. So I'll just give you a tour. These specimens, honestly, are just beautiful. In the back, you can see the specimen of turquoise. And they also have the chemical compositions of them on each of the cards. Some I recognize that one in the back, that's smithsonite. You can get some of that. There's places you can get that up in around off the Turquoise Trail. So this one here is a quartz, a smoky quartz, and it's called the Japan Law Twin. And they have a photograph of it on their website. So can you imagine there's a guy who gets paid to take these pictures? Those quartz crystals in the back are halite. I'm sorry, not quartz crystals, but crystals. Another chunk of pyrite. So these are all minerals that you can find in New Mexico. Some of them have been donated to the museum. What?
This one looks like there's a worm crawling out of it. Caterpillar.
Yeah, I don't know. That looks more like a, I don't know. No comment.
We'll go with caterpillar.
Lots of different colors of fluorite.
Slug.
So I think the idea is that we'll give you a good, oh, what do we have there? Chrysocolla, that one in the back that looks like a composite. A real big specimen of smithsonite. I mean, that took millions of years to
That's from
develop.
the Kelly mine, which is just down the road a little bit.
Calcopyrite quartz, sphalerite, and pyrite. There's a DuPont blasting machine. So they used to set up dynamite. So Shelley and I do have plans one day to head out into the New Mexico. Oh, you know what?
What? It's got googly eyes on it.
Googly eyes, because as my Aunt Lucy used to say, you can never have enough googly eyes. Those are beautiful quartz crystals.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
this
interesting.
is
I guess the ones that are out without being in a case, you get to touch them. And they're like, oh, go ahead and touch them. That's what it says. Please be gentle.
with your finger.
It says, feel free to touch. I will sit right there. I'm not lying.
So I love, my favorite thing to do with these is to imagine how these grew up over millions of years and how they were created from the combination of chemicals that had to occur in order for this to happen. It looks like this side has been polished,
Yeah.
so that you can look into the quartz crystal. So these are minerals of the Americas. So we're going to see some unusual ones because it includes the United States, Canada, Mexico, Central America, South America, all the way up, all the way north to Greenland.
So this is a visual mineral textbook.
Oh, you know what? I wanted to go back and see that with you.
Gold, silver, copper, lead, mercury, nickel. All of them are named and have specimens. So that's really cool.
Visual mineral textbook. So this, quote, textbook was donated by someone to the museum. The hero
What's
in
that
all
yellow
this,
one?
sulfur.
I didn't know it was so much of a rock. Shiny rock.
Well, yeah, but it turns into powder eventually.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I've never seen it as a hard rock.
So this was, it's called a Dana systematic classification, was developed by James Dwight Dana first published in 1837. The classification was originally based on simple chemical tests, morphology, hardness, streak, specific gravity, blowpipe analysis, luster, and color. The classification now includes information gleaned from X-ray diffraction, electron diffusion, optical electron microscopy, spectrographic and microprobe examination.
Which one?
The system,
one?
yeah.
A System of Mineralogy is the work compiled by James Dwight Dana. His son, Edward Salisbury Dana, continued the work to classify and identify mineral species, publishing Dana's Textbook of Mineralogy in 1892. Examples of both of these historic texts are shown in this display. Down there at the bottom, they got bubbles. Little. That's a cool little doodad. What is that?
The scale?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Field scale with weights. Ah. That's cool.
The fluorescent display is in here. So we got a fluorescent display.
Oh, fluorescent.
Yeah, because we're going to have to be in the dark. Go ahead.
The camera's probably not going to work till you get here. Oh, it's dark.
So it's not on.
Oh, you push the button here.
I don't see it. Okay.
There we go.
Wow. Look at these beautiful fluorescents. So some don't fluoresce. There are some that do, and they fluoresce under infrared light. So if you have an infrared light from glue, oops. Oh, you know what? That's a different
Different
wavelength.
kind of light? Oh,
It's a different kind of
I
light.
started it over. Sorry.
Okay.
I didn't realize it was going to be something different.
So you guys don't get the benefit of what we're seeing here. The camera doesn't pick it up. All the all right, there's the different So the different specimens apparently fluoresce under different wavelengths of light.
It's going to be a red and greenish one now. Yeah, I'm not going to see too much in here in the dark. These cameras.
Getting something, like I said, you're not getting the benefit of what we're seeing. Is there another one back there?
No, it's just in the curtain. To get
Okay.
out. Oh, but it must go a different direction because, anyway, if the room is
Alright.
dark, the light switch is inside the curtain to your left. The room light is on, look to your right, and note the instructions on how to view the display. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
So what we have here are the elements, the building blocks of mineral, an explanation of how they all end up where they end up. So I don't know if I can get close enough for you guys to see it, but you can see, for example, under malachite, they have the classification and then all the things, all the elements that are necessary to make it up. So I can read copper, carbon trioxide, and oxygen and hydrogen, but I don't know their combinations. But all of those are necessary to make malachite.
Tiny hammers. Toenail clippers.
Where do you see? Those are not toenail clippers.
That's what they look like.
So this is a beautiful collection here, and a lot of it looks like it's been donated by various people, including some of the antiques. So this is crystal systems. Geez, I hope they have a book on all this.
Well, I'm sure there's lots of books out there.
So there's the sign,
Minerals
and
and-
again, you're having to deal with the light here, but
It's like a mousy,
where?
just white. I guess it's argonite, or aragonite. Aragonite
Aragonite.
from Mexico.
Yeah, so here we're back to the minerals of the Americas.
Huila.
Colorful one is
Huila. I can't even say it.
rhodochrosite, and you can find some of that in Colorado. And you can find gem quality crystals of rhodochrosite in Colorado. There's another sample of it.
What I have determined is I have never found a single rock that was worth picking up in my life compared to this.
They're beautiful. Yeah. What is that rock that was it your father used to tell you about? A leverite.
Leverite, yeah.
Lever right there.
What is this, Daddy? That's a leverite. Leverite there. I like that article that you put in our newsletter. It talks about taking your kids out rock hounding, and it says, from day one, you make them carry whatever they want to bring home,
Right.
because if that makes them more discerning about it, and you're not loaded down with everybody's pretty rocks.
I thought that piece of advice that said don't put it in your backpack. Carry a separate bag,
Yeah,
canvas bag with it,
Yeah.
which I've seen
that
them.
makes sense.
So there's lots of different types of pyrite.
Yeah,
Let's look at this beautiful
very
example
sparkly.
here. Azurite and malachite are very common to New Mexico in that combination, that blue-green combination you see there,
It's very pretty.
because they have common chemicals. So this is the case
Ah, Oregon Mountains.
that's divided by the various districts in New
Major
Mexico.
commodities from the Organ Mountains
So-
are silver, copper, lead, and zinc.
So this is the Oregon district, based on the Oregon Mountains, where it's down around where Las Cruces and the New Mexico State University is.
Yep. We might go to Dripping Springs in the
Dripping,
Oregon Mountains
yeah.
while we're in Las Cruces for the Gem and Mineral Show.
Do you remember what date that is? Mid-February?
Well, it's the 25th.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So Shelley and I are going to the Gem and Minerals show.
And this one is Santa Rita and Tyrone, which is where?
Up around us or down there by Las Cruces?
Is it by Silver City? That's where the stars are. It must be by Silver City. And they have copper and gold. Wow. It's pretty copper.
So this is the Fierro Hanover. I've read a lot about the Hanover, or at least not read about it, but it seems whenever you're reading about the geology of New Mexico, the name comes up. So that's interesting. So that's not just copper ore, that is a chunk of copper, as is that.
But they don't turn green from oxidation. And this one is Fierro Hanover, copper, zinc, and iron.
So Hansenburg is the place, or this district is the place that we're planning to go visit, because we know a lady there that runs a rock shop, and behind it there are mining claims that she owns that she'll give you permission to go onto to do some rock hounding. I imagine you have to pay for
Yeah.
some fee to go.
Charge for that.
Yeah. But it's got some interesting
I
specimens
think she
down
charges by the how much you take out.
there.
rather
That's
than
right.
the hour
She,
or anything.
by the weight, yeah.
Yeah. That way, if you go in and you're like, I didn't find anything, well, and then you're not paying just to go look around.
So the Magdalena district is, let's see, help me out here. It is, if you're going south, it is west of us
Yeah.
on Route
On
60.
60.
And the reason we know
South and
that
west.
is we go through Magdalena on our way to Datel
Yeah.
from the very large array.
And
Is
they
that
have zinc, lead, and silver.
so you can see
Hydrozincite. Interesting. Looks like an alien face.
new and old placers. So
Lots of pyrite in this place.
this one, so this is new and old placers, and these are the
Oh,
area.
by Santa Fe, right?
Well, it's on the Turquoise Trail.
Yeah.
Right. So it's between Albuquerque and Santa Fe on Route 14.
And they have gold and copper. But we're seeing a lot of quartz here as well.
Well, they should also have some turquoise because,
Pyrite. Well, that's
well, of course, the
chalcopyrite.
pyrite is not a placer
Chalcopyrite.
deposit.
Pyrite? Chalcopyrite?
Chalcopyrite.
Chalcopyrite. Because I want to say copyright. Copyright. Gold. There's gold.
Where?
Oh, it's the threads.
Oh, look at that. Get that
From the
closer.
San Pedro mine, Santa Fe County. I guess the threads, gold threads are more rare than,
Then the
Then the
nuggets or
nuggets and-
flakes. Yeah.
yeah.
So pegmatites.
But I think that's one of the kinds that New Mexico had more of, was the,
So it's amazing to look at the
Wire.
statistics. Discovered around 1870, last active mining 1968, reported mineral species 134.
and that's up north, up in the,
It looks like around, north
Rio
from,
de los Pinos.
there's the two Mountains on that side. Those are the Santa Rita
Hey,
Cristos.
so if we crack one of those rocks open, are we going to find one of these things? Whatever's in here?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, it could just be rock, right? So it's not a
Do
mineral.
you see any that look like the outside? I expect them.
Virite.
Schorl and spessartine and what, bittite.
Yeah, we're going to have to get a pronunciation catalog, or a
Wow.
dictionary.
They found emeralds.
Where did you see the emeralds?
See the tiny one?
Oh, yeah. A little tiny barrel emerald there. Yeah, Macara outcrop in the Santa Rita Cristo Mountains, Taos County. So it's the two sources. So this is a guest exhibit from their senior curator, John Rakovan. Rakovan, yeah, you're right. So it looks like there's also a traveling exhibit here. And these look like Mr. Rakovan's papers as they've been published in various.
Mr. or Doctor, we don't know. It doesn't say.
Probably doctor. So this is a guest exhibit from Chief Master Sergeant Donald Krause. And this is his collection from all over the world, and it looks like he has the tools to cut. Look at the cabochons that he's created back there.
Mm.
Oh, he's even collected. So
It's good
they're
with
not
that
just
rock polishing,
shells.
huh? This is CMS. So what is that?
Chief Master Sergeant.
Chief Donald Krause.
So this is another collection that was a guest collection.
Those
Guest
are some
exhibit,
hefty
lifelong.
sand dollars. Usually can't find anything that
Pardon
well
me?
formed. Those sand dollars.
Oh, no, those are almost perfect, aren't they?
Fred
Third
Parker.
lifelong mineral collector. So, see the blue one? We've seen the various forms of smithsonite in the raw. That's a polished smithsonite. You can see how pretty the color is. So there's one in the background, and this is a cut and polished one. So generally these collectors will have tools in their little shed that allow them to cut the rocks and then polish them. Pardon?
That native copper and willemite kind of looks like a scorpion.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
Tail there.
But it's a cool specimen to have found. So this is oro y plata, gold and silver in New Mexico. So this looks like the licenses and certificates that were granted to various companies.
See, this is gold dust placers, Hillsborough District, Sierra County, New Mexico.
That's that area where the Blanchard is. Gold on quartz, silver, golden selenite.
Oh, that's
So-
a big piece from new placers.
Quite a little nugget there. And another one right there. Look at that
And it
nugget.
just says gold, so it's not like it's mixed with something.
No? Oops, sorry guys. There's another. I keep bumping the glass.
They don't care. It's not like they're hitting their heads. What's going on with that? Gold assay button.
Okay, so what they did is they took some gold dust or a gold flour, gold flake, and they put it into that cupola, and then they put a torch on it. And they just heat it until it melts and it forms that little gold button.
Mm.
There's a silver assay button. The other thing that they're done is if you've taken the gold in or silver in for assay, meaning you want to test its value, the person that you've taken it into assay for will make one of those buttons.
North Baldy.
Magdalena district. All right, so here we have some gemstones.
Shiny.
I'm trying to see if they're from New Mexico. It doesn't say, but there's some beautiful gemstones here. They're divided by,
I think it's just a display so you know what you're looking at.
so it says New Mexico gemstones starting from 136 to 151. So where are those?
Where's the numbers?
On little papers. So these are the, right here. So these are the gemstones of New Mexico.
Oh.
And how nicely they're cut.
Make sure you get a good picture of that and a picture. I want pictures.
I'll come back and do the pictures.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, the signage and things that we want to look at later. We want a picture.
So this is lapidary art.
Wow,
This
look
has
at this
been
bird.
produced by individuals. Look at that agate right there with the little
Face.
googly eyes.
But that's just how it's formed.
Look at this beautiful kind of turquoise.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Dang.
So these are
Huge.
pieces that people with cutting and polishing tools have taken and turned into art in various
Yeah,
forms.
oh, look at the globe. From lapis.
From Afghanistan.
Wow.
So there's a faceting machine. Minerals of the
So
United
apparently
States.
there's a lot of smithsonite in the Kelly mine.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Smithsonite is common in New Mexico. I mean, that's, as a matter of fact, when people come to New Mexico to do rock hounding,
Yeah.
one of the ones that they're looking for is smithsonite because it's so common for us.
That's a huge piece of fluorite.
Down there.
Look at that pyrite like a snake. Or like a couple of snakes.
Where do you see it?
That
Oh,
long
gosh.
Piece.
Amethyst. So amethyst is just quartz with color in it.
So these are minerals of the United States. What's with the bottles?
So I don't know whether you noticed, but
Glass
I took
bottles.
some of the pictures that I took outside of the front of the museum, and the waterfall that they had created is surrounded by huge chunks of petrified wood. And we're going to look at that more lapidary art. Look at these opals. That red one, fire opal. Look at that quartz and agate geode. So here's our petrified wood. And again, a lot of it's been cut and polished. It looked like, look at that. How rare is that? Opalized wood. That means after it was petrified, some additional chemicals made an incursion and created the opal.
What's this about? What's going on there?
Oh, it's because I haven't put a SIM card in this iPhone.
Oh.
It's your old iPhone 8 that I
Oh,
use.
I see.
Meteorites. There's the Glorietta meteorite back there. Meteorites are fun to look at. If you take a sliver one, there's a whole science associated with cutting a sliver of a meteorite and putting it under a fluorescent microscope. Not a fluorescent, but a...
This is from Glorieta Mountain, Santa Fe County. It's very interesting. It's almost like a printed board or something.
a polarizing microscope.
Tomato.
Apparently we've had a lot of meteors fall into our state.
Well, apparently enough for
To make a collection.
a good part of this exhibit.
So, Agates and Geodes of New Mexico.
Ooh. So where can we go for geodes?
Rockhound State Park.
Oh yeah?
You have to go up high up on the mountain to get any more because all the lower ones are taken, and they're small. They're about the size of a small orange or a lemon. But they're still up there. Here's the Rex Nelson collection of New Mexico turquoise. Wasn't Rex Nelson the guy that was Forrest Fenn's first partner in Santa Fe?
Oh, no,
It was
wasn't.
definitely Rex something.
Was it Nelson?
No,
No.
sir, turquoise can be found in white, like up there, or green, or blue in New Mexico.
It's the New Mexico State Gemstone. Typically occurs as cavity vein or fracture fill. A secondary copper mineral formed from the interaction of aqueous solutions and weathered minerals, sulfides, copper, carbonates, feldspar, and apatite. Consistently found in arid regions with weathered copper sulfide deposits in or adjacent to potassium feldspar-rich intrusive igneous rocks. And that was your geology lesson for today.
We'll have to come back and get one of those. So these are new
The Laura
acquisitions.
mine.
Now I have to cut that. So we have 37 minutes worth of footage here. What are we going to do with all of it? We're going to show it all. Because you guys
Probably
deserve to
because it's
see this.
content.
Because it's what? Because it's content. Shelley's theory.
New
That's Shelley's theory.
acquisitions.
So these are new acquisitions, but I wanted to show you there's another one of those quartz, the Japan Law twin quartz. So I'll have to figure out what the Japan Law is. Some formula for geology that produces that heart-shaped quartz, which is what it looks like to me. Oh, we already did this. So the only thing we missed are these two cases here. So these are more minerals of New Mexico. I've got to come back and get some pictures of some of these. You know, what's interesting is the number of signs that I see that say on exhibit or on traveling. Don't talk. Sorry, I'm going to have to cut that out. The number of
It's cute.
signs that are that say they're on exhibit or on traveling exhibit. I'm going to go around you here. Well,
This is Southwest.
if you're a rockhound or fan of geology, so these are minerals of the American Southwest. So what I read in the museum literature is that they have New Mexico minerals, then they have minerals of the American Southwest exclusive of New Mexico, then they have minerals of the United States exclusive of the Southwest, and then minerals of of the continent, or the two, let's see, North and South America, North Central and South America exclusive of the United States. So look at that gypsum snake over there.
That's from Yuma County, Arizona.
When we were young and we'd go fishing on the upper Pecos River around, let's see, what was the name of that location? It's further up north. I'll think of the location by the time we show you this video. But there was a lot of mining up in that area, including gold.
Willow Creek?
Pardon?
Willow Creek?
Well, it is above Willow Creek, but it's in the Torero, New Mexico. And as children, we could always find pyrite. All right, so I think what we're going to do now...
Did we do this one already?
Pardon?
Did we do these?
Oh, no, minerals of Europe and Africa. So you know there are minerals that seem to be common to all the continents, and then you look at this, Europe and Africa, and there are minerals that aren't on our here that aren't on our continent. Of course, Africa is known for its beautiful gemstones and its gold, and that's because geographically or geologically speaking, it's old.
Asia and Australia.
Dioxide. It's that green. I actually bought a ring for one of my daughters from diopside that was mined in Russia, come to think of it. Look at that pith helmet.
Chinese bamboo hard hat, that's what it says.
Look at that aquamarine in the back. You can actually find aquamarine. There's a lot of aquamarine mining in the mountains of Colorado, the mountains that are named after schools. What do they call them? The collegiates. There's a lot of mining up there. There used to be a show on the Weather Channel, and it covered the miners. It was about the miners that had claims in those mountains and would go up to 11 and 12,000 feet in the summer to mine for aquamarine and several other semi-precious gemstones that were up there, and they would find them in big quantities, and then they'd, at the annual or semi-annual Denver show, they'd go and sell them. I'll see if I can find the name of it. So these two cases have equipment, and this looks like it's uranium mining equipment because it has Geiger counters.
Gold Fat Man nuclear bomb pendant.
Oh,
Okay.
so there's trinitonite, or
Trinitite.
trinitite,
Right here.
and that was the mineral that was formed on the surface of the location where the first atomic bomb was exploded. And my uncle Albert, who worked at Los Alamos, had several pieces of it that he used to show off to us. And then he had an old Geiger counter that he would take out and tell us that it was radioactive and scare the heck out of us.
Most things are radioactive a little bit.
Mm-hmm, that's true. So these are the fluorites, of which New Mexico has a lot. Oh, and you know what? And it's fluorite up in Grant County, which is where we had already visited, and is where our uranium mine was.
Our uranium.
Well, it's not ours. It's New Mexico. It's the Royal Hour, as in New Mexico. All right, guys. So I think we're going to stop the video here.
Yeah.
And I think my next pass is I'm going to, like Shelley suggested, I'm going to go get some photographs so we can share some of this information with you. And then we'll
Go to the gift shop.
go to the gift shop, bookstore, and also I want to look through the purchasable specimens to see if there's anything that we might be able to bring home with us, okay? All right, we're going to turn you off. This is 45 minutes long, so you've probably had enough. The next time you see us will be with an outro. Oops, I missed these.
Okay, maybe we won't turn it off yet. This is what?
So these are
solid
samples.
silver mining.
Mining, so this is stuff that has been mined in New Mexico. Mining history and geology. So you can mine minerals, they do have value. Again, this one is
New
from the
Mexico
Rex
minerals.
Nelson collection, but this is independent of his turquoise. They're great specimens. You can tell he's a heck of a collector. Okay, camera's off. I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, so my battery's about to die, but we wanted to give you a walk through the bookstore before my battery dies. Beautiful collection of books. For everybody from, seems the expert and scientist to the complete amateurs like us. I thought I saw, did I see some maps for sale as well? Oops, I'm sorry. Somebody's office.
Yeah, they'll just walk right in. Huh?
Yeah. Oh, I like that hat.
Rock candy.
We're going to get that. So that geologist hammer, every place else you go is really expensive.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have a hammer on one side.
It's just a pick.
Yeah, on both sides, different angles of the pick. Want a pendant?
I have a lot of necklaces.
Okay, great selection of gifts. We'll make a little bit of an investment here, so, okay, we're going to turn you off, guys. Okay, you can turn your camera off.
Okay. Well, that was our day at the Gem and Mineral Museum. Just the Mineral Museum. Mineral Museum.
Although it does have gems.
New Mexico Tech. And Toby spent a lot of money and had a lot of fun. And we saw some real pretty stuff. It was a cool place to visit. We recommend it. If you're going through Socorro, make sure you stop in. There's not a whole lot to do in Socorro other than this, so definitely recommended.
I would say I highly recommend it if you have any interest in the sciences of geology, to a lesser extent paleontology, but the displays are amazing and very complete, and apparently we've only seen 1/3 of the entire set of specimens they have in the collection. So we were happy to have shown up here. It isn't a long visit. You can do it in the morning. And it's worthwhile if you have any interest. It's probably not going to be as much interest for the children because although they do have a classroom, but you have to make an appointment to visit in the classroom. But
There are some things that are out that they can touch, and there is a children's area in the shop. But other than that, it's not a whole lot for kids to do unless they're really interested in looking at rocks.
And they do sell specimens. We bought some specimens that we'll share with you on the show. We'll get some pictures. And also they have a great bookstore. It's all the geology, geology-related book products. So
it's a fairly new building, and it's a really nice facility.
Yeah, very nice. All right, guys, thanks for joining us today.